The West Davis Corridor team has prepared this brief video to explain UDOT's locally preferred alternative. We also invite you to view a companion video on our website titled How We Got Here that explains the past 3 years of this EIS process and the next steps going forward. In the draft EIS, the West Davis Corridor study team analyzed 8 build alternatives. These action alternatives, A through A4 and B1 through B4, are shown on the maps on the study website. UDOT has selected alternative B1 as its locally preferred alternative. This alternative consists of the Glover's Lane option in Farmington, alternative B in Syracuse, and the 4100 West option in West Point. This recommendation is not a final decision. The EIS process allows for the public to review the draft EIS and provides a 90-day comment period. UDOT will closely review the comments and may make adjustments to its locally preferred alternative or recommend a different alternative as it prepares the final EIS. A final record of decision on an alternative is currently planned for the spring of 2014. We will now explain why UDOT is recommending B1 as the locally preferred alternative. In doing so, we will compare the alternatives in each of the geographic areas of the study. The southern portion of the study area has 2 options, the Glover's Lane option and the Shepherd Lane option. The study team first compared the transportation performance and design of the 2 options. The traffic model results showed that the Glover's Lane option scored slightly better in every screening measure and served more traffic, indicating better performance. A key component of each alternative is its system-to-system interchange with I-15 and Legacy Parkway. As the southern terminus for the West Davis Corridor, it was vital that UDOT closely evaluate each interchange. The Glover's Lane interchange had numerous advantages over the Shepherd Lane interchange with less delay, simpler tasks for drivers, and better geometric design. The study team also compared the resource impacts of the 2 southern alternatives. The numeric values and context of the impacts were carefully considered. The Glover's Lane option avoids impacts to the Hay Creek riparian floodplain corridor, has no residential relocations, affects fewer Section 4F resources, avoids the relocation of the UPRR and the UTA railroads, has no impact on the Oak Ridge Golf Course, has fewer noise impacts on residences, and fewer impacts on community cohesion. It should be noted that this route entirely avoids the Farmington Bay waterfowl management area. The team acknowledges that the Glover's Lane option has impacts to other resources. However, in reviewing the context of these impacts compared to those of the Shepherd Lane option, the study team determined that the Glover's Lane option has less impact overall. This, in conjunction with its better transportation performance, led UDOT to recommend the Glover's Lane option in its locally preferred alternative. The next geographic area that the study team considered is the area north of Gentile Street in Syracuse. In this area, we have the A alternatives and the B alternatives, each with their northern options. Once again, to compare these alternatives, UDOT considered the transportation performance and the resource impacts of each alternative. In Syracuse, the B alternatives carried almost 50% more traffic than the A alternatives, and in West Point carried over 30% more. The B alternatives are located geographically where they have a better ability to serve traffic from the east and the west, which reduces congestion on other roadways and provides greater efficiency. The study team then compared the resource impacts of the A and B alternatives. The B alternatives would have fewer residential relocations, fewer Section 4F impacts, and fewer impacts to agricultural, protection areas, and other farmland. The B alternatives are more consistent with city plans, cost less, and are not immediately adjacent to the Great Salt Lake Shorelands Preserve. Both the A and B alternatives have their respective impacts. However, when considered with all other impacts, coupled with its improved transportation performance, the team selected the B alternatives as the locally preferred alternative north of Gentile Street. The final area to consider is the northern option for the B alternatives. Alternatives B1 and B2 both terminate at 5500 South and 5100 West in Weber County, but alternative B1 follows an easterly route, referred to as the 4100 West option in West Point, while B2 follows a westerly route, referred to as the 4800 West option. To compare these two options, the study team reviewed the transportation performance and resource impacts. In the West Point area, the 4100 West option carries almost 60% more traffic than the 4800 West option. Again, this indicates better utilization of the corridor and a better ability to reduce congestion on other roadways. The study team then compared the resource impacts of the two options. The 4100 West option would impact fewer Section 4F resources, fewer agricultural protection areas and other farmlands, is more consistent with the city land use and transportation plans, and would cost less than the 4800 West option. Though the 4800 West option has impacts to other resources, UDOT determined the impacts of the 4100 West option to be less. Therefore, due to the improved transportation performance and fewer impacts of the 4100 West option, UDOT recommends this option in its locally preferred alternative. UDOT recommends alternative B1 because it provides the best overall transportation performance, features a more efficient, better designed system interchange with I-15 and Legacy Parkway, has the fewest impacts to Section 4F resources, the fewest residential relocations, the fewest impacts to agricultural protection areas and farmland, the lowest cost, and is most consistent with city plans. It should be noted that alternative B1 also complies with all EPA air quality standards. We invite you to review sections 2.3 and 2.4 of the draft EIS to learn more about the alternatives and UDOT's selection process.